Hazrat Abdullah bin Zubair radiyallahu anhu reports, when his father Hazrat Zubair radiyallahu anhu got up for the battle of Jamal, he sent for me. I came and stood up beside him. He said, O my son, today no one will be killed save an oppressor or an oppressed, and I feel by the light of nature that soon I will be killed as a wronged one. I am supremely worried about my debt. Can some of my property remain even after disbursing my debt? Then he said, O my son, sell my property and pay off my debt. He then willed 1/3 of his property for me and willed 1/3 of that portion for Hazrat Abdullah's son. He says, 1/3 of the 1/3. So if some of the property exceeds after discharging the debt, then 1/3 of it is for your sons. Hisham says, some of Hazrat Abdullah's sons were of the age of Hazrat Zubair's sons, namely Khawab and Abbad, and he had 9 sons and 9 daughters at that time. Hazrat Abdullah says, he continued instructing me to pay the debt and said, O son, if you somehow fail to do, seek help of my master. He, Abdullah bin Zubair, said, by Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, I could not grasp what he meant. So I submitted, Father, who is your master? He said, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. Hazrat Abdullah says, by Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, whenever I faced any difficulty regarding this debt, I would say, O the master of Zubair, pay his debt off. So it was disbursed. Hazrat Zubair was martyred, bequeathing no dirham or dinar except land, one of which is Ghaba, 11 houses in Medina Munawwara, 2 in Basra, 1 in Kufa, and 1 in Egypt. Actually, his debt mounted up to such an extent only because if someone would bring something to give him as a trust, he would say, take it as a debt instead of a trust, for I fear it might be lost. He did never accept governorship, nor was he appointed to collect the kharaj, nor was he given any other post, but he participated in the holy battles under the command of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then of Hazrat Abu Bakr, Hazrat Umar, and Hazrat Usman radiyallahu anhum. Hazrat Abdullah bin Zubair radiyallahu anhu says, I estimated his debt and it amounted to 2,200,000. Hazrat Abdullah bin Zubair says, then Hazrat Hakim bin Hizam met me and said, O nephew, how much debt is on my brother? I concealing it said, 100,000. Hazrat Hakim said, I don't think your property is as much as to cover it. Hazrat Abdullah replied, what if you find it 2,200,000? He said, I don't think you can discharge it. Thus, if you fail to pay it, you should then seek my help. Hazrat Abdullah bin Zubair radiyallahu anhu says, Hazrat Zubair bought his land Al-Ghaba for 170,000. Hazrat Abdullah sold it for 1,600,000. Then he got up and announced, whosoever is Abdullah's creditor may come to Ghaba to get his debt. So Hazrat Abdullah bin Jafar radiyallahu anhu reached there, and to him Hazrat Zubair owed 400,000. He said to Hazrat Abdullah bin Zubair, if you wish, I will remit the debt. He replied, no. He again said, if you wish to defer the payment, I can give you respite. He replied, no. Thereupon he said, give me a piece of this land. So Hazrat Abdullah bin Zubair said, okay, the land extending from this place to that is yours. The reporter said, Hazrat Abdullah bin Zubair radiyallahu anhu sold some of the land of Ghaba and discharged the complete debt of Hazrat Abdullah bin Jafar radiyallahu anhu, retaining 4.5 shares of the land of Ghaba. Thereafter he went to Hazrat Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu, while Amr bin Usman, Mundhir bin Zubair, and Ibn Zama were sitting with him. Hazrat Muawiyah asked, what is the offer for the land of Ghaba? He replied, 100,000 for each share part. He inquired, how many shares have been left? He replied, 4.5. Mundhir bin Zubair started saying, I would like to buy 1 share for 100,000. Amr bin Usman said, I bought 1 share for 100,000. Ibn Zamah said, 1 share for 100,000 is mine. Hazrat Muawiyah inquired, How many shares have been left now? He replied, 1.5. He said, I bought this share for 150,000. Hazrat Abdullah bin Zubair says, Hazrat Abdullah bin Jafar sold his part of Hazrat Muawiyah radiallahu anhu for 600,000. When Hazrat Abdullah bin Zubair had paid off all the debt, the other sons of Hazrat Zubair demanded the distribution of the legacy. Hazrat Abdullah radiallahu anhu replied, by Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, I will not distribute it amongst you till I announce on the occasion of Hajj for 4 successive seasons years. Whosoever has debt claim against Hazrat Zubair should visit us so that we should pay his debt. So he kept announcing for 4 successive years on the occasion of Hajj. When 4 years had elapsed, he distributed the property among all shareholders. Hazrat Zubair radiallahu anhu had 4 wives. 1/3 share was not distributed. His each wife got 1,200,000. So all the property of Hazrat Zubair amounted to 50,200,000. Sahih Bukhari Hadith number 3129.